Okay. So you see the stream, right? Hopefully it's not a black screen anymore. And
Yep.
it's the loading screen. Alright, cool. Alright. Okay. Let's fast forward a little bit.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Let me get the MS pin ready.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
So, question: do you know how to auto animation cancel with Vayne and her tumble?
Yeah, I messed it up a good bit this game, but for the most part, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Usually, you can auto whatever Q and then you're good. The other thing to do is if you're against a wall, you can tumble into the wall, and if you do it right, it'll be like an even faster animation cancel. Just something to take note of. You can usually practice it when you're leashing. Just the beginning of the game, just sit next to a wall and use it to try to practice the animation cancel there. Okay. So besides me liking over here, can help me get level 2 fast enough. Yeah. But I mean, we're still alright in lane. One thing you want to do, at least when you're prepping minions with the runes and masters you have right now, is unless your support is prepping it for you, the melee minions, you can kill them after the second tower shot automatically, and then the range minions you have to auto them once and then auto them again to get the kill. So
right.
Tower shot, auto, tower shot, kill them. Something to take note of. One of the things to take note of in lane phase, when if you know how your support plays at least, and their support just wasted like a really important engage spell, like Lux's orb, which is like her primary damage. You can start going on the aggressive right now. Well, at least you could have for 5 seconds earlier on. Because there's no way for them to out-trade you, you know? Okay. Over here, if you had reacted a little bit earlier, you could have, let's go back 15 seconds real quick. Okay, Lux is starting to get out of position. Okay. So, in this situation, what you want to do is tumble forward right here, and then guaranteed condemn Lux into wall. She's dead. Okay.
Right.
But you kept walking this way, which was not optimal, because like Lux just wasted her snare and her whatever light orb, which means she has nothing, no escape, well, besides flash. And if she flashes this way, like anywhere here, and you start with condemn, she's still gonna get hit to the wall here. So she has to flash like in this direction if she wants to live. But you can, that's still okay with us because we can still follow up and push up. But easy way to just at least waste her summons are like Graves heal plus her flash if she reacts fast enough, but she probably is not gonna react fast enough. But yeah, tumble right there and then guaranteed kill. but she stays pushed up a little bit too long. And then we start focusing Graves. But he gets out. So a bit messy, but still got the kill. Which is the most important thing. Besides the second most important thing being doing it right, doing it the most efficient way. And then at this point, it's alright to start pushing lane and shoving in and going back. And yeah, again, just be careful with the siege minions, as don't want to miss them. Don't want to miss any CS, but practice makes perfect. In this situation, you could stay pushed up, like no problem. All you have to do is, especially in this situation, you could. It's one of those split-second decisions you could capitalize on. Tumble flash this way, and you'd be right here. Condemn Graves into this wall, and auto, he's dead. And I'm already in position to back you up if you do that, because whatever, I can shield you, and then I can polymorph Graves so he doesn't use any spells. So guaranteed kill. But
Okay.
this is like super split second because he's not gonna stay here for long, and because he's only here to like auto a minion. But quick thing you could have done. Doesn't have to, he backs off, but at least he fucked up, and I still got the E on him, the shield, and the lance thing. Whatever you call it in English.
선수입니다.
Wait, did he sell his Dorns?
Graves? Yeah, he did. Which is a
Okay.
terrible idea.
So I was just curious, me and him had the same CS at the time that he backed and I backed, but he had a BF sword coming back to lane.
Yeah. You should never sell your end plate. It's like too effective. Could be something you just sell. You only sell it once it's like your last item, you know. Or if you're about to hit like a really important team fight and
제압되었습니다.
like you need a 5th item BF sword or something like that,
더블킬.
then you know it's mildly effective. But definitely not optimal to sell it until 6th item. At this point in the game, it would have been good to use like the pink as soon as you killed off a few minions, because our lane's gonna start pushing. So you want to make sure that their jungler doesn't come through our try or something like that. Something slightly cheesy.
Okay.
Okay, so Graves uses heal flash. You can pretty much all in him all the time now. At least for the next 5 minutes. There. How much is the cooldown? 240. So 4 minutes. Alright. And the amount of gold you have, 700. So this would be a BOTRK fight, but you get BF sword, which is okay. I find it pretty useful. Sometimes in low elo, if I have enough money for a BF sword, just to go for Bloodthirster, especially if they have like a heal support and it's gonna be like a long lane phase. But that I don't know anyone else who does that, so I'm not exactly sure how efficient it is, but it's definitely, if you feel like you have no communication with your team and you just need to farm it and survive a long time, then that's one of your options. At this point, you couldn't do much since I was low health. So just gotta wait for the lane to shove in and then go back to farm, which we're doing right. when you calculate the Graves ult damage, okay. Right. And this is more easily lane pushing and Graves falling behind. Okay, should be shoving lane one more time here and then going back. Okay.
드래곤을 처치했습니다.
So at this point you opt for BF sword and you start the, what do you call it? The other thing that starts in the dice.
Static shift?
Yeah. Alright. Dragon's down at this point, so I'm not sure how much more their jungler is going to be staying around bot side. But at this point, it's most beneficial for us to just like shove for tower and start roaming mid to try to get the tower there, or going to the Rift Herald. But we don't do that. I mean, freezing at this point is alright too, or doing the slow push and then roaming. As long as our team's not losing too badly, it's a viable strategy. And then I get caught here, but I live. No, I don't. I'm done. Right, I remember.
파랑팀의 포탑이 파괴됐습니다.
Okay. Definitely wouldn't have used Condemn there, because you were too far to be able to capitalize on it. Like, you got him into the wall, but like, you weren't able to auto-attack once or twice while he didn't do anything. And unfortunately Lux had exhaust too. So, I think it would have been better to just hold on to Condemn a little bit more. And then use it. But turned out okay. At least you're able to live while shoving Graves out a little bit. Yeah, at this point we should be shoving, because they just backed. So we can make them lose a few more minions and put ourselves like even further ahead by doing that. Oh, another siege minion. Okay. And then this is when we notice that they're in our jungle and we can start taking advantage of this. So I always gotta watch out for rotations like this because it's really important, especially in low elo when we have people going this deep into the jungle. Alright.
I swear I don't dodge a single one of those.
Just gotta work on the sidestepping and paying attention to where she snares. Cause I mean, the more you like practice it, the better you get at dodging. A lot of it is like about always like practicing to not walking in like a straight line. You know what I mean? Because the more unpredictable pool you try to play, like the better. Alright. In this position, instantly condemn Graves, and then you should have already ulted by now. You waited too long to condemn because now Graves is already, you know, too far like safely up because now their jungler and Kale is gonna TP. If you had ulted sooner and walked up, Lux was already witted. And then, so that whole situation could have been avoided if we had reacted earlier. So as soon as this hit, this point right here, this is when you should have ulted immediately. Gone in on Graves. Cancelled him out and tried to condemn him to the wall because he'd be walking this way or walking this way. So as soon as he'd be like in this range here, guaranteed condemn. And then if you get stuck here, like Zed wouldn't have had to ult Graves in this situation. You could have just gone for Lux and killed Lux while we focused Graves and killed him. So this was like another like 2-second timing window right here where we could have safely killed both of them without you dying. But it's all about like reacting to it on time. And then right there, you stayed one auto too long, but I don't think you would have saved it. Dying. That's already too late. But you see what I mean? Like all these timing windows, all the time that happen, but they're like a few seconds long. You just have to notice them real quick and then capitalize on them. There is so hungry.
파랑 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다. 빨간 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다. 파랑 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Yeah, don't waste your Kindle. There's almost no way for us to hit him now. You turned around there. Oh, but that was good. Josh did.
Yeah, I think it was a misclick though.
Yeah. But there, I could have saved you as well. Lagging slash tilting. But it was, you did a good job dodging Luxor. That was nice. Lux, no, dragon.
And yeah, it's just red take on theories.
Yeah, that was, you played that really well.
파랑 팀이 드래곤을 처치했습니다.
Besides the condemn.
파랑 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Oh yeah.
Rather than that, you played it really well. You went inside his Q range so he couldn't heal, and you canceled his ulti.
드래곤을 처치했습니다.
Alright, they're locking my bot again. Okay. Okay, and this is where I mean we have to turn around and we could have killed them. You can see the kills right here, right? You can see Darius easily dying if you just walk forward back into Lux. Lux just used her snare, so she has nothing there, and then no, she has ult up in 2 seconds. Okay, so you get exhausted again, but you walk away. So that's okay. So if you hadn't walked away, you'd already be like here. So that means you'd be even closer to being able to hit a Darius, and then I would speed you up, and then you'd be back on killing Darius. So in the next second, Darius would die, and then ult and condemn Lux this way, and then I would ult you to play off condemn and keep her there for a little bit longer. So then Lux would have died in that situation there. But we split up and then they killed both of us. Yep. So at best, I mean at minimum, we would have gotten 2 kills for it. We just have to be really quick in that situation. But yeah, it was definitely hard to see, especially when you have the pressure of knowing that you have 2 other people coming to get you.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things Vayne is really good for, is basically going on the attack as like a defensive measure. Just because her like ult is such a good steroid, and especially when you're already on 2 items, or close to it, to 2 items, you definitely have a big power spike coming. Good tumble there. Don't be greedy with ult. A lot of these things, like yeah, we get the kills, whatever, because the entire team is there, but you could have finished people off more quickly and maybe even gotten popped for it if we had engaged with ult. So as soon as your ult comes up right now, walked up a little bit out of position there, which was obvious. But at this point, you could have ulted and turned around on Darius as soon as you did that. That was a good condemn. Got him away. But at this point, Darius should already be chunked down to like, I would say, like this much. Like this entire like health bar should be gone right now if you had ulted. You just have to stay on him, and you have to kind of trust your team and your support, because at this point Lulu gives like Vayne huge steroids, so you don't have to be worried too much about dying in this situation. Like the chase potential is really good, and so Poppy wouldn't have died even if she got low or she had flash, but it would still be possible for her to mess up and then call up like a really speed boost, and then maybe kill her, and maybe even Graves. But you kind of just have to pressure up really hard, and don't be afraid to use your ult.
빨간 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Okay. So in this situation, you want to make sure, like, especially in higher elo games, at this point their entire team would be grouping up and going for like Baron just because they saw you bot. So just take that into account. You should have gone back earlier and not gone bottom, and then just regroup mid. Even though bottom was pushing, it would have been safer just to go back mid. And practice like what do you call it? Kiting the camps. Do you use a click to kite, or what do you? How do you?
Yeah, I've been working on that recently, or trying to get used to it.
Because,
So it's just recently I picked it up.
yeah.
학살자입니다.
Situationally, you can just do the right click kiting. That it's really like micro-interrupting and hard. But if there's no one there, and you know it's just like one enemy, or whatever, two enemies, you can always use the A click and hold backwards. Alright. Okay, in this situation, you could have held on to your what do you call it? Invisibility a little bit longer. So, because you saw Poppy was charging up her ult at this point, right?
Right.
So if you had held on to like your invisibility about like 0.5 seconds to 1 second longer, you would be up to about here, right? And Graves would still be here. So you'd get into the brush, and Poppy would probably use her ult on me probably. I don't think she'd react in time to throw it this way. So it would have been a bigger chance for you to dodge it and kill Graves at the same time. And immediately after, just follow up with going on to Poppy. But she's already out of position and gets punished for it again, definitely. But as like the DPS carry, you want to make sure that you're in the team fight as long as possible, and you don't get ejected from the team fight literally by like Poppy. It's the equivalency of like if someone Zanya's on the enemy team in a team fight, you don't want to just stand there and wait for those like 2 seconds. You want to just start autoing someone else until that person can probably Zanya, and then go back to focusing them if they're like a carry. So maximum DPS is important. And then Lex uses a snare out of position. Now he's gonna kill everybody. Get him down. Okay, I just realized in that situation you didn't need to use flash. You could have just, what do you call it? Tumbled away from Darius, and you'd still be okay.
I didn't know if like the side of it would still clip me and pull me back in.
But I guess for safety, you know, it's okay, but try to distinguish between like the split second like small things like that. Because if you keep your summoners up, that's always even better. In that situation, you're gonna be more careful though, especially with Darius. You were really close. As soon as he comes up, you get too close in range when you're kiting him. You can be on the outside of his circle and still be hitting him. And then you tumbled forward, which was not a good idea. You could have tumbled backwards, taken less damage. And then try not to turn around, because at least in this situation, you're guaranteed to still be safe. As long as you get shielded. You just want to make sure you're like you saw Graves still had ult the entire time. So you want to make sure your positioning is like his ult range is really long. So something like this area. Which she stayed behind it the entire time, so it was good. But something to watch out for. Or like you can chase, but you have to chase at a certain distance. Just so you could keep up DPS on Poppy. Yeah, then this is good. Get the tower. Trying to get as many objectives as possible is the prime thing you need to focus on. Always. Especially if like your support doesn't know or your jungler doesn't know, always ping it out. And you know, okay, they're dead or they're somewhere else on the map. Make sure that let them know to focus on objectives. So, good ult there. You went invisible at the perfect time because otherwise you would have hit you into the wall. And then this is good for that. And then punish Poppy. Yeah. But you see how like Vayne's power spike gradually, you know, increases, and as soon as you hit 2 items, you're become really ahead in the game. But early on, you pretty much get poked out and whatnot, and you basically have to survive that all the way through, and then you know you can pretty much hard carry. Do you have any questions or anything like that?
No, it's just yeah, and I know the couple things I need to work on is you know, the positioning and team fighting, you know, farming early game, and it's just and reacting to what's happening around me just a little bit faster.
Yeah. Like I said before, just try to focus on kiting well, making sure that you don't tumble forward into like Darius or something like that, unless you know you're trying to stay within his circle, whatever. Like you were fighting before, like when you end on top. But other like melee champions, you just want to stay outside the range, keep kiting them like that, because that's where Vayne excels in the game. And then getting to that point in the game, aka not missing farm and just trying to play lane safely. And yeah. Any other questions or anything?
Yeah,
any other things you want to go over? Situations? Because I mean, the primary focus is if you're gonna play a champion like Vayne, like I said, is going for the scaling and then making sure your support knows that. You want to make sure you communicate, you know, your strategy to your team. And then, like I said before, try not to tilt or anything like that. I usually suggest going for the / ignore all as soon as you told your team what you want to do. But yeah, focusing on a strategy and then spamming 1 or 2 champions and then practicing that is usually optimal, especially if you're going for the elo grind.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, cool. If you have any other questions, just let me know over Skype or whatnot, and then I'll try to help you out.
Yeah.
Alright.
And yeah, I'll get together with you again if
you got time.
so we can do this again.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Yep.